No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I am Bobby Freeman, this is No Nonsense Gin Drinking, and today, my friends, we have a rather strange one for you. For this, my friends, let me just introduce you to Lone Wolf Cactus and Lime Gin. Now, as my regular viewers and subscribers know, I have reviewed many gins on this show, but I don't believe we have ever had a cactus flavour gin. And to be honest, as an Englishman here in England, we don't get many cactuses, or cacti I believe is the plural. We don't get many cacti here, apart from the ones that are in small plant pots in my grandmother's house. However, not once have I ever picked up one of those cactus? Picked up one of the cacti, looked at it and thought, that looks tasty, whacked it on a plate and eaten it for my lunch. Maybe some of you guys have, maybe some of my subscribers that live kind of, in a desert out in Utah or California or something, maybe you guys have been chowing down on cactuses for years, I do not know. However, I have no idea what it tastes like, so I am very much looking forward to getting quite literally stuck into it for you today. So then, we've got no new patrons this week, so let's crack straight into it, my friends. And of course, we shall be doing an accent. And I do believe that Lone Wolf hails from Aberdeenshire, so there may be a wee Scottish accent coming your way. Welcome to the gin's wild frontier. We distill our signature citrus gin with kaffir lime and Queen of the Night, which is a fragrant cactus flower that appears only after dark. Like the wolf who hunts by the moonlight. Spiky wee citrus notes meet Lone Wolf's classic juniper kick for an oasis of flavour best enjoyed at sundoon. So then, they're not really giving much away there, really, are they? So it sounds like it's their original sort of signature gin, which I have reviewed on this show quite a long time back. I'll put a link in the section below. But apart from that, it just says it uses this, what was it called? Flower of the Night or something. Queen of the Night. Now, I've no idea what that looks like because I do very little preparation for these videos. However, I think there's just one, oh God. I think we should just crack it open and see what it tastes like. No point messing around. So let's get the old top off. It's got one of these annoying fiddly things here. Oh, I made short work of that, don't worry. Oh, they've got the old tinfoil wrapped around it, which always makes for a rather risky gin tasting because I could lacerate the old hand. However, it most certainly does have a cork, so it most certainly is the Cork Test.
The Cork Test.
Right, so I've removed a bit of tinfoil from the bottom as well so we can have an injury-free cork test. So let's go for the squeak, see if we've got a squeak on there. Ooh, more of a hum I'd say than a squeak, but never mind, that's quite original, I quite like that. Go for the full pull, here we go. Oh my goodness, did you hear that for a cork test? That, my friends, is a strong, confident, Scottish cork pull. We're very pleased with that indeed. So let's have a wee sniff of the bastard, shall we? Oops, sorry about my language there, to get him in the wee glass. So let's have a wee sniff and see what the cactus smells like, shall we? So, okay, that's a strange smell, I must say. I've never smelled anything quite like it. It's almost, this is going to be weird, right? It actually reminds me a little bit of Brockman's gin. Now, if you haven't tried that one, go back and watch my video. I was way back near the beginning of my channel. And it's almost kind of almost a blackcurranty sort of smell. A real sort of fruity sort of, yeah, blackcurrant, if anything. That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting something more along the sort of the grassy, sort of planty sort of side, like some of those nettle gins we've tried before. But you know what? I'm not sure. It's massive and big, but anyway, let's not fanny around. Let's get the old tasting on, shall we? So then, tonic in the glass, shall we? Tonic in the glass. Tonic in the glass, tonic in the glass. Sorry, I lost myself for a second there in song. But, it's my show, and if I want to do it, then I damn well will. Anyway, cheer. Well, hang on, I'm a bit ahead of myself, aren't I? Lone Wolf, Cactus and Lime Gin. The first time an Englishman has ever drunk a cactus, to the best of my knowledge. I say, cheers. Oh, wow. Oh, do you know what? Totally different to what I was expecting. Very, very different to the smell. Completely different. I reckon just a tiny bit more tonic in there. You know how I always say it does release the flavours. Hang on a second. Let's have another quick go. Yeah. That's quite a unique one, because usually what you smell is kind of a precursor to the taste, or maybe just even just a suggestion for the taste. That taste totally, it tastes like I'm tasting a different gin than I smelt. Honestly, it's really weird. I feel like someone's switched them over between takes, but it's just me here in my own studio / garage. So let's try and break it down for you so you know what I'm tasting. It's kind of, as I say, hugely sort of fruity and sort of blackcurranty in that when you're smelling it. But in the taste, I'm getting kind of more of what I thought I would get when I sort of imagined the Cactus taste. It's quite a sort of a planty taste, and quite, I don't want to make any puns here, but it's quite sort of a sharp taste as well, almost a prickly taste, which I suppose is what you should expect when you're having eating a cactus. But I mean, it's kind of, it's got that sort of, that peppery essence that the original Lone Wolf gin had. It had a very sort of strong pink peppercorn flavour, if I remember rightly, but it's just kind of tinged, yeah, with something. You know what, if I didn't know it was Cactus, I would never in a million years guess what it is. But there's something of the vegetative sort of quality about it, something green and organic and grows out of the ground. I tell you what, it is all encompassing. I'm not getting a huge hit of juniper in there, to be honest. A tiny little sort of core, little sort of a whiff, which I've said before is slightly smaller than a waft. And is there any lime in there? I'd say helps when I do that, obviously, like a little rabbit. I'd say there is, actually, there is. I didn't sort of get it first of all because this sort of green flavour, I can't think of any other way to describe it, this sort of green veggie sort of flavour was so powerful. But there is, but you kind of have to search for it. You kind of have to go, is it? And it's more in the aftertaste, I would say. It's certainly not what you call a sweet gin, and definitely not, even though it is limey, it doesn't to me scream citrus gin. But if nothing else, it is exceptionally original, and I do admire that. That's the beauty of gin. We can find such weird and wonderful stuff. There is no ends to the flavour. However, my friends, gin lovers and viewers from around the world, the question we have to ask ourselves, otherwise what's the point in old Freeman being here? Do you like how I refer to myself in the third person now? The question is it nice? Is it enjoyable? I have to say, I think if I had ordered that in a restaurant and it had turned up and I had tasted it, I'd have been like, I'm not sure about this. And I remain unsure about it. I am very far removed from being sure, as far removed as it is possible to be. But I get the feeling, once you'd settled into it, maybe one or two, maybe it's like an acquired taste. I just get the kind of a feeling. It reminds me a little bit of ages ago, a long time ago, I did a nettle flavoured gin, and we did a honey and nettle flavoured gin by the Black Lodge Potions, which is down here, I think, that little fella there. Now that was bloody amazing. But the one that was just nettles, it was a little bit, again, kind of a taste of the hedgerow about it. Again, well, obviously, again, I don't go around gnawing on hedgerows, but what I imagine from when I've smelt a freshly cut one to taste like. And again, with that, I was unsure if I liked it or not. It really sort of, but like I say, isn't this an interesting sort of gin when you really, look at me, I can barely get my words out. It kind of sort of throws you and pulls you into sort of mysterious sort of a purgatory where you're sort of neither in one camp or the other. So this has kind of got me foxed, really. I'm not going to say I don't like it, but I'm definitely not going to say I like it yet. So then, let's park the flavour for 1 second. Park it over there. There we go, very neatly parked. What is this odd, peculiar, let's turn that round that way so we can see it a bit better. This peculiar little fellow going to set you back. What is it going to hit you? How hard is it going to hit you in the old pocket? Wow, I shall tell you, my friends. It is a very pocket-friendly £25 here in the UK. I don't believe it's available elsewhere yet, but should it do, just to give you an idea, that's going to be €33.27. So very, very nicely under my top bracket. And it sits, I think the other ones with that as well, they're similar sort of price as well, because I did the original Lone Wolf and the Cloudy Lemon one as well. And if you can get them on offer in the supermarket, I think they even go as low as £20. So price-wise, absolutely bang on from the good old Lone Wolf. So what's the conclusion, gin lovers? As you can see, this one has got me foxed, but what is the conclusion? We need to draw a conclusion. I feel this is the part of the show where I'm like Jerry Springer in his final thought. And I think my final thought is, would I recommend you to get it? Do you know what? I absolutely would. It's sometimes, especially when you've got a nice big gin collection, you've got a bit of everything, sometimes you come across a gin and you realise, I haven't actually got everything. So I definitely think it's worth a try, particularly at that price, especially if you can get it at the lower £20 like some supermarkets do. If it was going to be more expensive, one of these ridiculously expensive ones, £50, £60, I'd say forget it, Yeah, it's weird, it's a bit odd, but don't spend your money on it because there's every chance you might not like it. But at that sort of price, I think it's worth sometimes straying into the unknown and sort of experimenting with something that you may or may not like. So, gin lovers, what a video it was today. A little bit meandering, I went on a little bit and I made a few mistakes as per my usual videos. But, I hope you have found it useful. And as I always say, if indeed you have, please don't forget to subscribe to my show, press the little like button on the video and the bell icon so you get notified when all my new videos come out. And if you want to support the show, like, oh no, no one did it this week, but if you want to support the show like my other patrons did, head over to my Patreon page as well or click that there join button below the video. But until next time, guys, you know the drill. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and I touched the roof there, and keep drinking, wrong way round, it's all going to pot. Keep drinking, I'll do an extra fast one to make up for it, the gin.